All right. I'm all ready.
The goggles?
What's that?
Is that you, the goggles?
It's my glasses. I don't know. So I made these candlesticks for my girlfriend. It started actually as a security light was the first idea. I have, or my old house, I had a garage in the back, and I had a security camera that was motion censored, but I wanted it to get triggered if anybody was back by my garage, and it wasn't, or anywhere near it. So I just had a little motion sensor connected to a little LED that would trigger by the garage, and that light was just enough to trigger my camera all the way over by my house. Turn that on. And so I'd started by I took an ink bottle and turned it into like a little light bulb. And that's kind of where this came from. That's why there's ink in there. So it started with this little guy, with a little ink bottle, and then ended up with one of these. And then I found some plastic tubing and ran all my wires through it, so then I could run them from window to window without issue. But all right. I don't know. I don't remember what I have in here. So that's what I just showed you. The setup's pretty simple. It's just a RGB LED light. And then these are the pieces and parts I put together. The tubing is really just, I could have gone to like the library and 3D printed something, which I don't know if everybody knows that that's available there for like $1 an hour. I think that's pretty cool. But I thought I'd figure out how I can use random pieces and parts to do it. That's how it ended up looking, kind of like a lightsaber. So it's not really a lightsaber, it's just a candle. But the main reason I started doing the candles is
we won't see the lightsaber? Waiting on that.
I know. I warned them about putting that up there as the title. People are going to be very disappointed. Well, I was looking around my neighborhood around Christmas time, and I saw the candles in people's windows, and they were really boring. They're just, if they're even doing that at all, not very realistic. So I thought, well, I don't know much about these electronics. In fact, most of what I learned was from our workshop. Other than that, I had Arduino boards and stuff sitting around, but I'd never touched them. Then we did our workshop, and that kind of got my brain going.
So is that a success story then?
Yeah. So I figured I know how to make a light turn on, and I bet I can figure out with my programming knowledge how to make it flicker at least a little more intelligently than my neighbors. And if they see this video, hopefully my neighbors don't see that. But I almost shot a video of his candles because he still has them up. But I figured that wouldn't be inappropriate. So anyway, so I started working on that, and so I mean, yeah, they look awful, but from the window, who would know any different? Well, I'm just running through the pieces and parts. If they downloaded. The ink bottles, I'm a tattoo hobbyist, so I had these little ink bottles floating around. The sketch is really simple. Signing pen numbers, which to the light to run each color. Then I'm initializing or giving an initial value to each of the colors, just at 1, which changes later on down the road. I have a delay. Let's see, and decay. I don't think I'm using the decay value anymore. I'll explain what those are in a second. So then I've got the setup, which just assigns the output. Let's see. So the decay was like a random number. I did this at Christmas, so I'm a little hazy on why and what. But I wanted the red to be the strongest. And so I've got that value the highest, but I also wanted it to kind of flicker, through the loop. Green, I added a little bit of green not too much. But I wanted that to vary a little bit, and then just a tad bit of blue, which I just kept steady. And then, let's see, I put a delay on there to simulate a breeze, or attempt to anyway. And I wanted that to be kind of random, so every once in a while there's a long pause, like that. That's my candle there. But so that's it. That's the whole thing. It's not a huge deal. It made the girlfriend happy.
So did you get an actual flickering look to the color then?
Yeah, I've got a video, and hopefully that came with it here. Oh, that's my pile of crap there. Oh, that was the video. Yeah. Muted. I think my kid's yapping around in the background. I killed the light in a second here. It came out pretty good from the road. It looks really nice. And compared to the neighbors, which it really, next time you guys look at Christmas lights, it's really bad. It's pathetic. So that's it. But you can kind of see a little bit. I think you can see the green pop in there a little bit, but it helps make it not so red.
You know, if you put some type of frosting inside your bottle,
Yeah.
green and red you won't see the separation as much.
Really? Because that was driving me nuts.
Yeah.
All right.
I was going to ask you if you noticed any difference. Did you buy all your LEDs from the same place? Or did you
Yeah.
buy different? So you'll find out with those RGB ones, there's a vast difference in the quality of the different colors in each vendor. Some
Okay.
vendors, the reds will be super bright. Some of the reds will be kind of light.
Well, the vendor was somewhere in China, which is another thing I learned. I learned that from the workshop too. But that too, I went out right after that and bought a ton of these nano boards for like $5-6 a piece.
Did you put an Arduino per light then, per candle?
Yeah, because I didn't have enough intelligence to know how to do that all. Yeah. Which I've just now started to understand that. But power and the electronics is still new to me.
One thing to look into too, to cut your electronics way down, is the blink M stuff. What they do is they mate a RGB LED with a microcontroller all in the same package.
Okay.
And then you can use I2C to program it and tell it what to do. And it has a small language. It actually has a candle flicker mode too, and built right in it. But your cost is going to go up on your LED. Those blink M's are if you buy them in onesie twosies, they're like $8 a piece or something.
Okay.
So your probably overall cost might even go up in candle, but they're very small, simplistic.
Yeah, I think I stayed under $10 per candle on these.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. So next year we'll have them in all the windows. This year I only had 2, and one that I went like that to the cat. And that's how it wrote.
Throw some wireless transmitters and even synchronize them.
Well, what I was trying to do really quick last night before I got here was I've done some things with the processing language. Where I had I run a YouTube channel and do a bunch of web development tutorials, and so I've got a big fan base there. And one day I hooked up a motor and just tied a little, I don't know, it was like a twisty tie or something like that to turn it into a little fan. And I set up a webcam, and I had my users from all around the world log on this page, just start changing the value of the fan, so it's turning on and going really fast and turning low, and everybody could watch it happen. That was pretty fun. So I was going to do something like that with these candles before I got here, and I didn't have time. So we could just change the values and mess with the flicker and stuff like that in real time. But I think that's all I got.
Good work.